difference. Like, see, people might like Force. People might like Raising Kanan, but we loved book 2. And you got rid of that. All right, so how about we stop? So how about we stop watching it then?
Good luck.
All right, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. A very sad video. So, real quick, the last about week and a half or so, I've had to deal with the news of Akira Toriyama passing away. And if you don't know who that is the creator of Dragon Ball, okay? Then I had to deal with the news of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul and all that shit, you know, stupid ass fight. Then I had to deal with, you know, Haiti freaking, you know, being burned down by gangs and shit like that. So basically this whole last week and a half has been nothing but bad news. All right? And the only thing that I've been looking forward to, you know, as far as like media is concerned, is Power Book 2 coming back out. And I was wondering when that shit was gonna drop. I've been watching MovieBot and all them other Power channels and shit, watching theory videos in anticipation of the shit coming out. Now, there was some partial good news, which was basically, what's his name? 50 Cent had announced that Power Origins was gonna be coming out. And basically, this is supposed to be an origin story of Ghost and Tommy. Alright? Then the following day, these niggas want to announce that Book 2, Season 4, is going to be the final season of the fucking series. Now, I want to basically read the article, and then I'm just going to go on a tangent as far as why I have a problem with this and why I think it's the wrong move. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so, the article says, fans of the Power franchise are losing Ghost again, but this time, it's the series. Starz has canceled Power Book 2 Ghost, with the show's 4th season to serve as its last. It will be broken into 2 parts, premiering June 7th and September 6th. The move was prefaced by Starz CEO Jeffrey Hirsch this week when he revealed plans to contain content costs by developing more new shows versus sustaining series longer as they become more expensive. It says, using the Power franchise as an example, he said, you look at the Power map and say, okay, if I take one of these characters out and spin one of those out, I could bring that on to replace the Power show at half the cost. Now I'm putting a lot of money right to the bottom line, and I'm really not losing anything in terms of acquisition costs and subscriber viewership, because we know what those demos want and we know how to line those up. And so that's really the core of getting to that 20% margin, turning that slate over with fresh content to drive the business. Now I'm gonna be doing a reaction to the trailer or the teaser in a separate video, so y'all stay tuned for that. But it says everything is playing out as he revealed. On Wednesday, Starz announced plans for a new prequel series following everyone's favorite Power duo, Ghost and Tommy. The series will be in the same vein as Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Today, Ghost is dead. Alright. Now, where do I even start? Okay? First of all, that is probably the dumbest fucking decision that I've seen a network make in years. I don't remember the last time I've heard such a fucking stupid quote or stupid statement made by a guy who was supposed to be the CEO of a popular a popular television show fucking network. Now, my first reaction when I heard that shit is, alright, 50 Cent said on his Instagram that he was like, we heard y'all, and now we're gonna give you guys what you want. And so now we're gonna give you guys Power Book, you know, Power Origins, right? Now, wasn't that the whole purpose behind Raising Kanan? The whole purpose behind Raising Kanan was to show his origin story and then how he crossed paths with Tommy, Ghost, you know, Angela, Tasha, and shit like that. and how he ends up in jail. Because the whole story of Raising Kanan, he ends up in jail. Ghost goes behind his back and sets him up for him to go behind bars so then Ghost can take over everything. That was the whole purpose of the show. So you mean to tell me that we're never going to get that? And that, you know, my time has been fucking wasted? Because I don't understand. Like, the only reason why I was ever even watching Raising Kanan was literally just for that. Because everybody knows that in the whole Power, you know, the original 6 seasons of Power, all they did was talk about Breeze and talk about events that should be taking place in Raising Kanan. So, you know, it's just basically that show was useless. Because, let's be honest, that's not like... Raising Kanan is honestly probably like the second to worst show after Force. And I'm going to talk about Force in a minute. But, so what's the whole purpose now? So really, I'm not looking forward to seeing season 4, I guess. I think, right? If not, yeah, season 4 of Raising Kanan. I'm not looking forward to it because my whole thing was I'm thinking, okay, you know, Breeze is going to show up, you know, Ghost and Tommy are gonna pop up, and then we're gonna get a chance to fucking, you know, see them. And this news is telling me that that's not going to happen. All right, so therefore, I can give less of a shit about Raising Kanan as of right now. So unless I start to hear that there is a young Ghost and a young Tommy and a Breeze in season 4, then I will watch it. But if they're not in there, I'm not watching that shit. So that's 1. 2. Why would they make the decision to get rid of the most popular show in order to cut the costs? Now, here's my rebuttal and my counter to that. The only reason why they feel like they're spending too much money is because they were the ones who were trying to be, you know, the ghetto MCU and then have 5 different shows, you know, freaking going on simultaneously. That's not smart. Just do one show at a time. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to do Book 2, Raising Kanan, and then Force all around at the same time. And then not to mention other shows, whack-ass shows at that, like BMF and P-Valley and all that other types of shit that they got going on. So if they feel like they've been spending a lot of money, that's because, you know, of their stupid strategy to try to capitalize on the show's popularity. So it actually wasn't even really smart. Because you got to be honest, the only reason why Power, as we know it right now, is lit and is a good, like, series, you know, whatever you want to call it, is because of Book 2. Because Book 2 stands on the shoulders of the original Power. It is a direct sequel. So that show has a lot going for itself. None of these other shows nearly have as much going for themselves as Book 2 does. The reason why Book 2 is so good is because you care about all the characters. It's not like Tariq is the only character we care about. That show has, you got Kane, you got, well, yeah, you got Kane, you got Monet, you got, you know, Tariq, you got, you know, Davis McClain, you had Sax, you see what I'm saying? You had Mecca. You feel me? Basically, the point I'm making is that show had a strong cast. So that show will hold your attention, you know, from the beginning to end. You know, versus Force, no one cares about what's going on that show unless Tommy's on screen. And I'm pretty sure the majority of Power fans aren't really feeling Force like that. So if there was a show that they were going to get rid of, it should have been Force. Let's be real. Let's be real. Shout out to Joseph Sikora and all of that, but y'all should have gotten rid of that show. You know, don't get rid of the most lit show, the one that has everybody talking, before, you know, the show really hit its stride, because in my opinion, it didn't. This is like a very premature, you know, end, in my opinion. Like, story-wise, there's a lot that they could do with that show. And that show at least should have been six seasons minimum. 6 seasons minimum. 7, maybe 8 tops. But 6, you know, like I said, the original Power has 6 seasons. So you give Book 2 6 seasons. You don't end that shit at season 4 when the way that 3 ended, it's just like there's so much going on. How can you really wrap it up? You can't. You can't. And honestly, it's like, however season 4 is gonna go, is basically they're just gonna quickly wrap it up. So they're gonna start to just kill off characters and then just write it so that way everything can come to an abrupt end. However way they divide the shit. Another thing, BMF really should have been the one to go. That's another show. So if really you're gonna want to cut costs, cut P-Valley, cut BMF, get rid of them shits. Get rid of them shits, because no one cares about those shows. No one is saying hashtag BMF when a new episode drops. In fact, if as far as I'm concerned, I think that show, the new season just premiered. I don't see people talking about BMF the way that they talk about Book 2. I can compare this shit to when the Bulls had a second three-peat, and then motherfucking Jerry Krause just decided to split up the team. Instead of keeping them together and going for a 7th championship, they were like, you know what? The Bulls needs to rebuild. How? Why? It's the same thing. So you guys have a winning formula. You guys have a winning team in the cast of Book 2. And you mean to tell me you niggas are really going to get rid of it in the name of cutting costs? You know who to get rid of. You know who to get rid of. So, in fact, that actually makes sense. So then the last season of Raising Kanan should be the final season. Because if we got Origins on the way, then what the fuck do we need Raising Kanan for? Why do we need 2 different prequels going on at the same time? That doesn't make sense. The people that make these dumbass decisions are guys in suits. These are not the writers. These are not the showrunners. These are not creative people. So Jeffrey Hirsch, whoever the fuck that is, I don't even know who that is. He's just a guy in a suit that cares about, you know, revenue, viewership, and analytics. That's all he cares about. He does not care about, you know, what us fans really want, because I think at this point now, they had to have caught wind of the fact that we don't want Book 2 to go. We don't. But they're going to ignore it in the name of cutting costs. Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Because let me tell you something. Like, I wasn't even a guy years ago that was really big on TV shows. So, you know, like during the days of Empire and, you know, shows like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even really watching them. And in fact, I wasn't even watching Power when Power was originally, you know, coming on. Like, I got onto that show, you know, late. And then I got onto Book 2 when it first dropped. You know, and if, you know, for anybody, you know, who's listening to this, you know, you can agree, god damn it, you could agree that it's fun, like, to look forward to the new episode that's coming out next week. And then you go on social media and you talk about it, you compare, you know, what you thought about the episode, what you think about different characters. It's fun. And y'all are taking away, Stars is taking away, you know, the most fun show to watch on television. And then right now, what do we really have that's on? Snowfall is gone. You know what I'm saying? Bel Air does not compare to how good, you know, Power is in terms of like the entertainment, the drama, and the action. Bel Air doesn't have any of that. Raising Kanan, again, the only reason why we care about it is because we are waiting for Breeze. We're waiting for a character. We don't even know what he looks like. None of that shit. And we're waiting for him. We're waiting for characters that we knew and loved, you know, in the original Power. So that means if we're getting a show specifically dedicated to them, then get rid of Raising Kanan then. Because we don't need it. We don't need it. That show doesn't have not one character that comes close to Omar Hardwick. That comes close to Joseph Sikora. That comes close to 50 Cent. They don't have nobody. They don't have anybody. That show is dry. And then on top of that, they literally got rid of Omar Epps, who was pretty much the reason why I even decided to watch the show in the first place. And he got shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? And then this goes to show that they just do whatever they want. Because like I was saying before about, you know, Unique and all of that shit, you know, he was supposed to die. And then they just brought him back just because he felt like staying on the show more. You know, but he was supposed to, you know, leave because of scheduling conflicts, because he was supposed to be going on tour and all of that. So they're like, all right, well, I guess it's not going to work, so we're just going to kill off the character. And then when he decided to change his mind, they brought him back. And then they're just going to create a storyline that's just convenient for him to be on the show. So they don't even know what they're doing. It's the same thing with Mecha in season 2 of Ghost. It's the same thing. It's like they just decided to make him the quote-unquote global snitching. But in reality, that character, 1, should not have died. 2, he should not have been a snitch. That's like a dumbass, like you know, plot twist. It's just so stupid. So they're just doing things to just get rid of certain pieces off the chessboard. And that's what they're doing. And then on top of that, you got Michael Rainey Jr., who's the star of the goddamn show, who said he didn't know.
I ain't know shit, bro. I found out the same time y'all found out, we got our own stuff in the makings. You feel me? I mean, they do tell him, but like I don't know. I guess sometimes they just want to do shit their way, bro. That's just what it is. It's the higher ups.
About the shit. He said, I mean, and then here's the thing, like honestly, knowing 50 Cent, maybe this could be a whole ploy just to get people all wrapped up and invested in season 4, and then for them to turn around and be like, you know what? Due to the success of season 4, we're gonna continue the show. I don't know. Like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if 50 Cent did some shit like that. But as of right now, I'm gonna rock with it because again, Stars announced that shit. The shit was on Deadline. Okay, so you know, as of right now, that shit is fucking canceled. You know, but anyway, yeah, he said he didn't even know about the shit. He didn't even know. And then you got 50, you know, want to post on Instagram that he was like, oh, it's because you didn't pick up your phone. Like, what's going on over there at Stars? Like, honestly, for real, like, what is going on over there? Like, y'all just do shit on a whim. Because in my opinion, they should have announced that like, all right, like, let's say when certain shows don't get renewed for certain seasons, they will say the show didn't get renewed ahead of time. And I don't know, I guess timeline wise, like I guess that was normal too, but in my opinion, this was just very abrupt. And based off of what the star of the show is saying, you know, like this is very abrupt news. Like it's like they got uprooted. It's like you take a plant and then you just uproot it from, you know, where it was planted at. Way before you really got to bear fruit. Because yeah, we're all invested in the show as fans, but again, that show didn't hit its stride yet. And honestly, I'm not surprised because when you get rid of, you know, the original showrunner, Courtney Kemp, and she's not involved anymore, this is when you're going to have free falls. This is when the show is going to spiral out of control. Because let me tell you something right now. Origins is not going to hit the way y'all think it is. It's not going to hit like that. If y'all think Omari Hardwick and Joseph Sikora are going to come back, they're not. They're not. And then the actors that they get to portray a young Ghost and Tommy, it ain't gonna hit, bro. It's not. So don't sit there and think like and be all excited like, yeah, this is going to be like, no, it's not. It's not. Whatever you think is going to happen is not. It's going to be whack. It's going to be whack. How about that? How about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause me, as of right now, I'm done with I'm done with Power fucking period. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm fucking done. And what y'all really need to do, everybody that's watching this shit, and then people who feel this fucking same way, what y'all need to do, everybody needs to unsubscribe from Stars. Stop watching these shows. So if they think that the viewers are going to stay after you get rid of the one show that we really like, that we love, there's a difference. Like, see, people might like Force. People might like Raising Kanan, but we loved Book 2. And you got rid of that shit? Alright, so how about we stop? So how about we stop watching it then? And then when y'all see the subscriptions go out the window, when you see the subscription, the viewerships go down, the numbers go down, then they'll see, you know, how important it is to listen to the fans. Because I can understand business strategies and all that shit, but you can't forego that. You know, and then forsake your fans, the people that make it possible for you to even have shows on television. You know, that's my thing. Oh, yeah, and then another thing too, see, if y'all familiar with some of my other rants and, you know, a couple of my, you know, episode reactions, I had dreams of being on Book fucking 2. I had dreams of being on Book 2. You know what I'm saying? Not as, you know, the regular gangster, but I was trying to be the replacement for Sax. You know, the black, handsome, intelligent replacement for Sax, who was an intern at Davis McLean's fucking, you know, law firm and shit like that. That's what I wanted. And they took that shit away from me. They took that shit away. So like I said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this shit with these motherfuckers anymore. So unless I start to see that, again, Raising Kanan starts to pick up, I'm done, because I'm not watching Force. Because what can Force do with this story now? Honestly, where are they going with that story? That story is not interesting at all. And frankly, I feel like that show exists for the sole purpose of doing the Joseph Sikora, the actor, a favor. He just gave him his own show for his wonderful services as Tommy in the original Power. But we don't need a force. We don't need a force. That shit is not interesting. All we really need is book 2, book 3. Because book 3 again serves the purpose of telling the origin story of Kanan, and then bringing back Tommy, Ghost, Angela, Tasha, Paz, you know, all the motherfuckers from the original goddamn, you know, Power franchise and shit like that. And then book 2 to continue on the story. So then maybe again you'll have characters like Lorenz Tate or fucking Rashad Tate and shit. Like basically it'll just continue to go on. Because eventually, in my opinion, what they could do, eventually get rid of the Tejadas. You know? Like, because the thing with you know, the original Power is that like the story progressed. I'm like, yeah, there was still like a focal point of certain characters, but shit, you know, if they got rid of, you know, Kanan, they got rid of him in order to, you know, move the story along. Like, basically what I'm saying is like the story was good, but again, you don't have a great writer in Courtney Kemp no more. So that's why I'm saying like they don't know what they're doing. And then when you don't have a plan, that's when you have abrupt changes like they're doing right now. That's the fucking problem. So all this tells me is they don't really know what they're doing, and then everything is just fly by day. What I guess whatever 50 Cent says he wants to do, they're just gonna go, you know, get up and do it. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna, you know, make all these changes and shit like that, and without like a real concise long-term plan. Because again, what's his name? Unique getting killed off, and then them bringing him back. That just tells me y'all don't have a plan. Bitch, here's the difference between Power Book 2, and all the rest of them. You see, I can go back and rewatch Book 2 multiple times. I can go back and watch the original Power multiple times. Why? Because those shows were just that good. I can't say the same about Raising Kanan. I can't say the same about Force. I will watch these episodes one time and that is it. I will never watch them again. To the point where I'll barely remember what happened the season before because it's just not that fucking good. Just because that shit is power, they call it shit Power and all of that doesn't automatically make the shit fucking good. Like let's not sit here and pretend that every fucking little thing that these niggas do is on point. Is on point. Nigga, Book 2 is the A team. Fucking Raising Kanan's B team. Football terms, first string, second string. These niggas, Raising Kanan and Force, them niggas are coming off the bench in comparison to fucking Book 2. And these niggas have the audacity to cancel that shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. Like, this shit just don't... It's like, I feel like when LeBron James, it was like the finals of some shit. And then when fucking, you know, he passed the ball to fucking... Or like J.R. Smith had the ball... And then, but he didn't know that the clock was running out. So this nigga just ran out the motherfucking clock. And then LeBron was looking at this nigga. LeBron was looking at him like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, honestly, nigga, Jeffrey Hurst, 50 Cent, what the fuck are you doing? Because at this point right now, this is the beginning of the end of the Power universe. The beginning of the end. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't fix it. Because it's like they were paying so much attention to what we've been saying about Breeze and Ghost and Tommy that they got it twisted. And then they thought like, oh shit, oh, so that's what they really want? Okay, cool. So then we're gonna get rid of Book 2 and then just make Power Origins because that's what we think that they want. Nigga, that's not what we were saying. That's not what we said. We said we want that shit in Raising Kanan. That's what we meant. We didn't mean, you know, we want a whole different fucking show when we sat there and supported 3 seasons of your trash ass show thinking that we were gonna get these fucking characters, and you mean to tell me now I've been watching this shit for no fucking reason? Like, y'all are so dumb and out of fucking touch, it's insane. Like, you niggas don't understand. You don't understand. Like, y'all gotta get like somebody who's really in touch with what fans actually fucking want. Nigga, that's not what we fucking want, dog. No one, we didn't ask for Power Origins. We didn't ask you to get rid of goddamn Book 2. We didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for that shit. So what y'all need to do, cancel Force, cancel BMF, cancel P-Valley, then you have a bigger budget. Then you have more to play with. And then if you want to make shows in the future, cool. But finish what you started first. Finish book 2 first before you move on. You know, the MCU cinematic universe format, that shit don't work for everybody. That shit don't work on television shows. It don't work like that. That shit like that will maybe only work theatrically. Like for films. That shit doesn't work in terms of, you know, television shows. That's why you niggas are pressed for bread right now, because you niggas are doing too much. You're doing the most. And we didn't ask you to do that. I didn't ask for that. That's why you niggas are opening your wallets like, damn, yo, nigga, we just paid Mary J. Blige $650,000. We're paying Michael Rainey Jr. another $150, you know, per episode and shit like that. You know, then we got all the other actors that were paying 5 figures for these niggas, not to mention all the money that we're paying for all the other actors on Force and Raising Kanan. This is why you're running out of money. This is why you're running out of money. Like, even the MCU, they had to consolidate and be like, because they did the same shit, where they thought, they were like, oh, okay, so let's make less films and let's make more television shows, you know, in order to capitalize. And then we're going to constantly have mad shows come out throughout the year. And what happened? Nigga, that shit blew up in their fucking face. That shit blew up in their fucking face because they did too much. Like, they were fine with WandaVision, Loki, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier. And then stop there. But instead, they did She-Hulk. They did all of this shit. Like, nigga, no one asked for that. Like, we didn't want that, bro. And they're doing the same thing, you know, with Power. Like, remember, these niggas were going to do a whole show for Rashad Tate. What for? That nigga's a side character. He is a side character. That nigga does not have main character energy. So that just goes to show that they were that. And mind you, they didn't do it. But when they canceled Influence, they should have been like, you know what? Let's just slow our roll, and let's just make sure that book 2 is everything it could be before we put our energy into something else. Because that's what they call spreading yourself too thin. That's what they call oversaturating your brand. That's what that is. Putting your eggs in too many baskets. No, because it's like how much can one plant grow if you're watering 4 other fucking plants at the same time? That plant can never be all that it could be. And then because, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe you think it's better if you just replant another seed that is gonna be what this one was. You got another fucking thing coming. Because you don't fuck up a good thing. Like, when you have a good thing, don't fuck it up, man. Like, don't fuck that shit up. Like, they had a really good thing. They had a really good thing. And now it's over. Because, let me tell you something. From what I saw in the trailer for season 4, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Like, I know it's just a teaser, like a 30, 45 second teaser. And that's not the real trailer, but from what I've seen, they're gonna wrap everything up. They're gonna wrap everything up. And from what I see, the way that Monet was crying, Kane's gonna die. Kane is going to die. Whether Tariq kills his ass off, you know, or something happens to him. You know what I'm saying? And then you already see Diana praying. That was the first time I've ever seen that girl pray, ever. You know, but I'm gonna give my thoughts on that, you know, on another video, but it's not looking good. And if what I heard is correct, I don't know if they shot 20 episodes last year or how they're going to split it up, because I don't know how the fuck you're going to do a premiere on June 7th and then do something else September 7th. Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? Like, just drop everything right then and there. If that's the case. So, you know, I just don't know where they're going with this shit. And frankly, at this point, like, I don't even really care. You know, so I'm just going to mourn the loss of book 2 by watching the final season. But, you know, Raising Kanan can eat several dicks. You know, Force can fuck Force. Okay, I'm not fucking with that shit either. It's done. And then I never really gave a shit about BMF anyway. I've never watched one episode of BMF. And I was only considering watching that shit was because they got Christopher B. Duncan, a.k.a. Braxton from the Jamie Foxx show on there. And you know what I was going to do? I was just going to skip to all his scenes. I don't care to watch that garbage ass show with actors who are trash, except for, like I said, Chris B. Duncan and maybe some of the other actors who are, you know, good actors. networks that really care about their franchises and shit like that, their stories, that's not how they conduct themselves. You don't just throw, you know, the golden egg in the trash and then think that you're gonna get another one. It doesn't fucking work like that. You're gonna get a basic ass egg in the future, moving forward. And all they did was fuck up a good thing. And honestly, as much as I respect 50 Cent, I'm very surprised that he allowed this to happen, because he always struck me as a guy that cared about his actors. And again, unless this is like a media ploy, you know, media strategy to get views and a buzz and all that, to get people talking, and then, you know, it's like a red herring just to get people invested, so that way a lot of people will watch, you know, the last season, and then for them to say that, all right, you know, due to popular demand, you know, we're bringing back book 2 and renewing it for 2 seasons. You know, that's it for me. That is it for me. You know, I'm done. But, you know, I had to come on here and I had to fucking, you know, talk my shit, because this is fucking ridiculous. This is appalling. You know, I feel like Stephen A. Smith. Like, if I met fucking 50 Cent, I'd be like, yo, something is wrong with you, sir. This doesn't make any sense. For real, like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. And then more also Stephen A. Smith. If I feel like we've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, all of that shit.
Flat out deceived.
All of that shit. Because you told me I was gonna get one thing from this show. Now you're saying I'm not gonna get it from this show. You're gonna give me this whack ass show in its place. But I can go on and on and on all day about this motherfucking shit. So anyway, what are your thoughts? Please be sure as always to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.